The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the QATV staff or board of directors. QATV, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent, member-produced public access programming.
Now on tonight's kickoff for these three terrific candidates. The times we are living in demonstrate how important good leadership for the good, and for the good of all, truly is. Stepping forward from one's personal, family, and work life to run and serve as a city councilor is a huge commitment and sacrifice. With this in mind, we commend the good work our present councils have done and continue to do. We respect and are grateful for the good done for our community in many services and events. That is what good public servants and city government should do. But, there's a huge but. We all know that there have been very serious lapses by the current council due to our system of a too-strong mayor and a too-weak council. In more than 97% of votes, the present 9-member council has supported the mayor virtually without question. We need financial gatekeepers who are independent, who with the integrity of Ann Mahoney, ask smart questions that need to be asked on behalf of all Quincy residents, and take stands that result in the most effective and efficient use of our taxes. Needed changes will only take place with new councilors. We need Kathy, Ginny, and Sue to make these changes. The advertisement in the Sun for tonight's campaign kickoff states, "We believe in fiscal responsibility, accountability, and transparency." Let's consider the fiscal, financial. There is much fanfare to celebrate, we all see this, Quincy 400. Actually, Quincy was Braintree from 1625 until first called Quincy after Josiah Quincy in 1792. So we are actually marking Quincy 233. But math has been fuzzy for a long time in Quincy. We know that. Salaries and statutes and leases, buying cemetery gates and buildings with COVID money, shutting restaurants and small businesses, raising homeowners' taxes, and giving tax breaks to developers really doesn't add up. Not for the people.
Right.
The operating budget for the city for 2026 is $455.6 million, and the indebtedness of our city is $1.6 billion, with a B, billion dollars. At the mayor's budget presentation, there was not one substantive question about the budget or indebtedness from the council. At the budget public hearing, many citizens, including these candidates, they asked questions, and they asked important questions and made insightful comments, none of which were responded to by the council. As we know so well, there's a complete lack of transparency. Transparency is public notification and participation, particularly with the raises, the statues, the lease of Quarry Hills until the year 2106. As Joe Murphy, leader of the Just Quincy, noted in a past campaign for council, as citizens, we don't need to be told what government will do for us or to us, but rather government needs to listen to what we citizens need and want so we can work together. Kathy, Ginny, and Sue state that promise tonight. We are committed to ensuring all Quincy citizens are heard and represented. As the motto and mission of Quincy Environmental Network, led by Steve Perdio, stated, think globally, act locally, start with Quincy. And in Quincy now, with this election, we start with these three remarkable candidates. Kathy, Ginny, and Sue will run smart, people-powered, positive, hopeful campaigns running on issues, not on big donations, insider fear, or favoritism. These three dedicated activists, as residents, voters, and leaders, each understand what needs to change. They've been very involved in and know Quincy's political scene and controversies. Building on their experience of Quincy government, like those councils before them, when elected, they each will attend the Mass Municipal Councils Association training for new councilors. I'm getting to my big finish here. Susan remarked humorously how walking around getting signatures for Joe Murphy and Ann Mahoney's campaigns and at the Halloween anti-raise demonstration She wore a Star Wars Princess Leia costume. As they say in the movie, the Force is strong with her. It is. And with Kathy and Ginny, and with the other challenges, the Force is strong. The force for change, reform, and hope for a better, more representative government for Quincy. It takes a village of volunteers to do the very hard work of running a successful campaign. So with respect and gratitude, get your family members, friends, and neighbors to go to their websites, donate, and sign up to help. This campaign is truly historic because it is her story. Right? Abigail Adams was literally the woman behind the man, the woman who helped him shine and work for democracy. One of her most famous quotes was her appeal to her husband John to remember the ladies. Well, actually, he did not remember them as he should have. We all know that. Well, gradually, things have changed and need to change more. We can say in this campaign, not just remember the ladies, but just watch these women and support what they do with us for our city.
Thank you, Michael. He has been one of my role models for many, many years. So first of all, I'm Kathy Thrun. I'm running for Ward 3 City Councilor. Can you hear me okay?
And into it.
A little low. Okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Kathy Thrun. I'm running for Ward 3 City Councilor. First of all, I always have to move around a lot. I wanted to explain to you why we have 3 tables out there. We have 3 tables because there's these campaign financing rules. Okay, and if we just ask you for 1 check to cover the 3 of us, we would become a PAC. A PAC is an PAC. Political Action Committee, and all sorts of wretched rules come into place. And, well, Ginny, Susan, and I are a PAC, but it's a PAC with a K. And not just a PAC. I've lived in Quincy for about 50 years. Raised a son here, love the Blue Hills, love our 27 miles of shoreline, and was particularly taken by the history of Quincy. Democracy was kind of sort of like born here. But do we have democracy right now? No. I'm not sure either. We had a mayor who was elected with less than 20%. Less than 20% of registered voters. I'm sorry, that's not democracy. And one of the things that I really want, even more than getting elected, I want to see people come out and vote. So if on the tables you have a place where you can find out where to vote, and you can register for vote right from your tables. And I encourage you all to spread the word. Voting. The most important thing that I can think of. So that's what democracy means to me. But then again, who the heck am I? And why do you want to vote for me? Well, I'm fundamentally an activist. I can't claim to be much of a politician at all. In fact, this is the first time I'm running. But I'm not afraid of anyone or anything. Yeah. And I'm certainly not afraid of a mayor or a city councilor. Because of my professional life, I've had an unusual professional life. I've stared down dictators in Belarus and in Moscow. So, you know, if anybody wants to tell me what to do, I am writing that ordinance to get rid of those salary raises. They're wrong. They're just wrong. Be the voice of the people. That, you know what, the city council has most of its power during budgeting time and during debt time. And do you know what? Our city council just said yes, 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 yes. Well, I'm big on no. And I'm big on explaining why that's no. I think maybe we'll use the filibuster to try to get them to silence. It won't be easy. Because one person's voice isn't going to work. It's going to help, but it's not going to really work on the city council. That's why I'm asking you not only to go out and vote, but look at who you're voting and why you're voting for them, so that we can get enough people on the city council to really get change from now on. So thanks, I'm going to be your voice, and as I told you, I'm not afraid of anything. We have a young guest who'd like to say a few words about the three ladies.
Hi everybody, I'm Yuan Nelson. I'm one of Susan's friends, and I want to tell you all why I support Susan and Kathy and Jenny. So in 2022, I met Yuan, also known as Susan, on the Quincy YMCA badminton court. And she definitely sprinted back and forth, laughing and full of energy, and working together with her partner to defeat the other team. And then fast forward a year later, 2023, when I met Susan again at Ann Mahoney's mayoral campaign kickoff event, which was very exciting. And I got to know Susan better as we door knocked together for Ann Mahoney. And Susan imagines a better Quincy, a better future for Quincy, a better place to live for all of us, for everyday people, not for corporations and billionaires. And I told her I thought she should run for city council one day. And Emily is here. So Susan is running for city council, as you know, in coalition with Kathy and Jenny. The three of them became close friends as they organized together during the 2024 Repeal the Raises campaign, which was, the city council approved a 79% raise for the mayor and a 50% raise for themselves, as many of you know, despite a lot of opposition. And the repeal campaign, and Susan and Kathy and Jenny, they gathered signatures, organized protests, and also led an open letter campaign to spread awareness on the issue. And the repeal campaign was so successful that it attracted media attention. And finally, the State Ethics Commission stepped in, and that caused the mayor and council to at least defer the raises for now. So Susan, Kathy, and Jenny realized they couldn't just remain activists. They had to do more. They needed to go further and step up and run for city council in order to create real change. So I support Susan, Kathy, and Jenny with my vote, with my time, and my money, because I want a better Quincy to live in, especially for my 1-year-old daughter. And I want a Quincy City Hall that works for us, for the people of Quincy, not billionaires who have businesses in Quincy. So vote for Susan, Kathy, and Jenny for city council.
Princess Leia.
I'm Yuan. Many of you.
Pick up the mic.
I'm Yuan. Many of you know me as Susan. Last year, I was one of the organizers.
Closer.
Okay, but I was one of the organizers for the campaign to repeal mayors.
I just want to make sure, we are a pack.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. First, thank you all for coming to support us. I'm Zhiqiang Yuan. Many of you know me as Susan. I was one of the lead organizers of the campaign to repeal mayors and councillors and unjust pay raises last year. During the campaign, while I was collecting signatures and organizing rallies, many people encouraged me to run for city council because they appreciated my willingness and courage to stand up and speak for people, even when it meant to stand up against those people in power. I was born and raised in a working family in China. My two old sisters couldn't get enough education because of the Cultural Revolution. I was lucky enough to be born much later, and I studied very hard to get a scholarship to come to the US in 1999 to do postdoctoral research in biomedical science at the University of Vermont. The American people welcomed me with their open arms. My American landlady showed me how democracy works in the United States. She brought me to the city council meetings and the community events and explained to me the voting system of the US. I was truly amazed how lucky you are to live here where you can vote and have a voice. That's still a luxury in many other countries. So please cherish your right to vote.
Yes.
I have lived in Quincy for 14 years. I enjoyed the beaches, the blue hills, and enjoyed being part of the large Asian community in Quincy. Over the years, I also grew concerns about some issues in the city, just as Kathy mentioned earlier, the lack of transparency and fiscal responsibility in local government, and the ever-increased property taxes driving people out of the city. Those concerns are shared in Asian community. I have spoken about those issues at various city council meetings. I admire Quincy's rich history as the city of presidents, but I do believe to really honor our great predecessors, we must carry forward their spirit to make the government truly work for people's best interests, not just building their statues to remember them. My English may be not perfect, but my commitment to people is.
Absolutely.
I will work hard for the people in Quincy. If elected, I will take the Massachusetts state provided training for new councillors to better prepare myself to serve. I will work together with my colleagues to push for term limits for the mayor, fair pay raises, fiscal responsibility, transparency, and accountability. I want to help to make Quincy a safe, vibrant, community-driven city for all. Thank you again.
Nice. Okay, last but not least. Well, first off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. Oh, sorry. Hi, can you hear me now? Yes. All right, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming tonight. We know everybody has busy lives, so we really do appreciate it. I want to thank Joe Sassy for coming with his wonderful speakers.
Yeah.
We speak loudly and clearly. I do want to thank two people who are not here tonight that helped me get the signatures to become certified. That's Mary Beth Bassiano and Kathleen Dell. They walked with me to get more familiar territory view, and it was great. It's going to be an uphill battle, and we all know it, but we can do it. If we work together, work as a team, and get the same message out, we can do it.
Yes.
On the day that I submitted my signatures for certification, I had 83. It only took a half an hour and I got the call from them. You are now certified, you will be on the ballot in November. So, I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, holy moly, I'm running for public office. And then I called my family the next day. I said, okay, you better open up your wallets. But I'm going to keep this very short. I will speak on the quote of the day. Not holy moly. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Martin Luther King Jr. Guys, thank you again.